Such demand for it. Unbelievable. And it's only growing. On that note, I have to go and say
how much is a lot?
quite a bit.
And he's like, what other day? And I was like, yeah. And like, oh.
Yeah, obviously that's not my issue though. My mum cut out fizzy drinks.
What do you think about the concept of fat shaming? You've had run-ins with Katie Hopkins, as have we, and I will say Steve Miller is obviously not a massive fan of mine. And I was just wondering what you guys thought about fat shaming, if you think it can ever work as a way of making people want to be healthier.
Yeah, I said it earlier already. I think it comes, wanting to change comes from a place of loving yourself, not hating yourself. And I think I see a lot of women have so many self-esteem issues, and if they get fat shamed as well, there's going to be an even bigger barrier for them to ever go to the gym or ever to walk around because they're too scared of people laughing at them.
Also, fat, not just, I'm looking at, what's really lovely about looking at this audience is such a completely wide variety of body shapes. And I think we talk about fat shaming, but I think in the rush to kind of criticise fat shaming, we forget that sometimes we can really thin shame, people that are naturally thin and like, oh, you must be anorexic. And I have a friend, the writer Polly Vernon, who's written a book about us, but she people are like, oh, you must be anorexic because you're thin, and she's like, no, I'm just thin, and it's really, that's a really insulting thing to throw someone. And I think we have to like respect all body shapes, don't we?
Yeah, there's a girl who works in the agency at Milk, and she's teeny tiny, she's like a size 4, but naturally, and she eats, and she actually hired a personal trainer to gain weight, because she gets her friends and her boyfriend, her parents all like, oh, you're so thin, and she hates it. And now she's 5 months pregnant, and she's loving it. She's like, finally, I've got some curves, this is fantastic. And so I think it works both ways. She's getting thin shamed, and other women get fat shamed. I think all of it's really disgusting. I think it goes down to the individual. I would never spend my time shaming anybody about that. I think, I just think the whole thing's disgusting.
I think it gets really ludicrous if you just look at the press Serena Williams just got for looking like a man, which is an amazing athlete. Why don't we look at that? I mean, it's ridiculous that women get these kind of comments.
Yeah.
From a professional point of view, what I always do with a client, apart from just finding out what they want to achieve, it's very important to find out why they want to achieve it. You give them, you find the intrinsic motivation, so what the reason why they want to do it. You ask them questions like, okay, if you did achieve your goal, so it was increase your weight for the slim people, which there are plenty, or lose weight for whatever. You ask them, why do you want to achieve it? What would be different in your life, if you did achieve it? And how would you feel if you did? How would you feel if you didn't? Just to get them, to get them to commit a little bit more to whatever it is that they want to do. But it's an important process of motivating that person. You need to find the reason in them why they want to achieve it. And sometimes it takes some digging, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. I want to run around after my kids, my parents were unhealthy, I don't want to die of heart disease, things like that. It takes a little bit of digging, but is again a very important part of the process.
Now, obviously, we're all in agreement and we all want to be healthy, but do we have a responsibility to others to be healthy?
I think as much as we influence one another in society, everybody has a responsibility when you walk down the street to be nice and civil to people. So everybody has a responsibility at some point in society, and I think probably more so in the positions that we're in, because we can actually influence opinion and children and society, that it is probably our responsibility to spearhead, if that's what we love and what we want to do and why we're actually here, to be those role models and inspire. Nobody's perfect, but I feel like if you are passionate about something, inspire people.
I always get a thrill when I find out that some of the bloggers or some people I meet are saying, oh, because of you, I started going to the gym and I did more exercise, or I cooked your recipes and they're actually really good. So I think we do have a responsibility, but at the end of the day, it's everybody's own choice.
Anna has done these amazing food videos for us, and I really hope that you'll all check them out. And the recipes are really good. I actually make them every week now, and all my friends make the superfood salad. So I was wondering, how important is nutrition? And again, it feels like we only ever talk about diet tips to lose weight and not normal eating, as it were. So how can we get the media to change the way that we talk about food?
What really irritates me about this time of year is you look on the front pages of all the papers and it's like bikini diet or beach body ready, and I'm like, I have a body and I can go to the beach, I'm ready, and it's like, it really irritates me. And I'm often, when the Telegraph say to me, always, are you here, or we're doing it, I'm like, I wince, and it's really irritating. But I was like, do you know what I want to do is just have a balance, like a proper, I don't want to be swinging from one extreme to the other. 1 minute I'm Darcy, the next I'm gorging on burgers. Like, actually, you just want to, it's about, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're right. So,
I think no one ever really talks about that. We never go, okay, here's just how to eat healthily, like 80% of the time, and then, treat yourself the rest of it. It's all or nothing. It's like getting ready to go on the beach, and then it's all this like panic food thing.
Also, it's the idea that you go on holiday with your loved ones, don't you? It's the idea that you're going to get on the beach and put on a bikini and they're going to scream and run away. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking really bizarre. I've never really got it. But also, healthy eating doesn't have to be boring, does it, Anna?
No, I mean, I enjoyed it. I wanted to eat healthier, so I tried to come up with lots of different recipes to make healthy food more attractive. And people say it's fine to have a cheat meal or a cheat day a week. I think otherwise it's not sustainable. I think that's why all the diets fail. I think I read a statistic once that 95% of all women who go on a diet put the weight back on straight afterwards and a bit more. So it's just introducing more healthy, nutritious food groups into your diet. And I think the food industry should be blamed for some of their labeling, because it's, again, people aren't educated about certain things and they don't know how much sugar there is in fruit juice, for example. I think that's a healthy thing to have an orange juice. And I hate all these diet products and ready-made meals which are full of processed crap and full of numbers and whatnot. And people always say, oh well, organic food is so expensive, and so, or why is it so expensive, and why is the processed food so cheap? Because it's crap. And things labelled low fat quite often are full of sugar, again, to give it some taste, or full of salt, and that's not good for you either.
If you ask a baker how many ingredients are in a loaf of bread, he'll say 4, maybe 5: salt, butter, flour, yeast, etc. If you look on the back of a packet that's in most of the, on a pack of bread that's in most of the supermarkets, there's about 28 different ingredients. The majority of these are antifungal agents and anti-this and anti-that, and you're putting that in your body, and your body doesn't recognize it. It's a man-made substance. Margarine, for example, is one chemical molecule away from being plastic. You're putting that in your body, and your body doesn't recognize it. It causes something that we know as chronic inflammation, where your intestines sort of inflamed, they're swollen, they're under attack by your immune system, and that compromises your health. It lowers your immune system. Your body gets tired because it's fighting this chronic inflammation rather than giving you energy throughout the day. Diabetes, for example, you can get diabetes from going on juicing only diets when you're just using fruits and things like that, because of the blood sugar spike that you get when you drink the juice is to do with the amount of time it takes for your body to digest the sugars, and then it hits your blood. Your body registers it and has an emergency response which tells your pancreas to release insulin and then store it in your muscle tissue. If your muscle tissue is then full up from carbohydrates, of which you've been drinking juices all day, it takes it to the liver, converts it to fat and stores it up around this area, which can lead to fatty liver. It's the health implications there start getting very serious and very scary very quickly. A lot of people, they'll eat a nice, high sugary breakfast, or they feed their kids a sugary breakfast for convenience. Their kids by the time they get to school, their blood sugar levels have peaked, they're absolutely hyperactive. They're running around the playground, I'm going to climb this, I'm going to jump on that, I'm going to poke this button, I'm going to go and do that, I'm going to run over there. They get into class, the teachers trying to calm everyone down, sit down, listen to me, concentrate, and we're wondering why they're not learning anything. Suffering. I think we need to, educate children, start from a young age, educate them on what would be, what is healthy, start giving them the healthy things to make that difference.
So what do you think that can be done on kind of, like institutional level or like on a country level or like media level that will help people get to this information and not have so many issues and problems that they have?
The information is out there, but it's in small, quite hard to find places. One of the reasons why I believe it's not out there and it's not sort of nationalized is because there's a lot of money to be made from, I think I remember hearing on my nutrition course that one of the guy who invented or had something to do with the healthy eating food pyramid. He was the guy who sort of recommended government guidelines. Forgive me if my quotes aren't 100% perfect, but he used to be the CEO of Cadbury's Chocolate. So he's got no qualifications in nutrition or anything like that, but yet, he's in control of telling people what we should eat. The government, at one point, the healthy eating pyramid changed. So they changed the colour of sugars and fats, and they turned it from red to purple because they thought people would, red is for danger and people wouldn't eat it. So they changed the colour because people were buying less sugar, and the economy had, maybe got hit a little bit. Back when the war had just finished, we had an overstorage of grains. So they said, okay, what we'll do is we'll tell everyone it's healthy to have a large amount of grain in your diet. And the healthy eating pyramid changed then again. So I think it's, like I said, the information is out there in the right places, and with social media especially, a lot more people are finding out a lot more about healthier foods, healthier alternatives, and certain things that are very, very bad for you. And it is slowly making that shift, but it's still not, nationwide, plainly because I think it's a whole money-making thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very brave and decent government, so not the current one, who would kind of slap a sugar tax on or anything like that, because it's, basically they make money out of us getting fat, really.